There are many electrical sources in and around a pool environment. The pump, the chlorinator, a radio, portable vacuums, and lighting. A breaker box is where electricity enters the facility. You will need to refer to the pool manager at your individual facility to identify the location of the breaker box. The breaker box is made up of individual breakers or switches that control the electricity to different areas of the pool facility. If the electricity or power has been cut off from a certain area, it could be as simple as resetting the GFI, which we will address in a couple of segments, or you will need to check the breaker box to see if a breaker switch has been tripped. Once you have identified the tripped breaker switch, you will need to turn it to the off position and back on. To flip a breaker switch on or off, you will need to move the lever until you hear a hard snap. This will reset that breaker switch and should return electricity to the area that breaker switch controls. If a breaker switch is floating or won't reset, you will need to flip all of the breaker switches to the off position and then back to the on position. The floating breaker switch should then reset easily. If it does not reset, or if you continue to have problems with tripped breaker switches, be sure and contact the pool management company. In the event of an emergency and power to the pump needs to be killed immediately, you need to identify 3 areas to shut down the pump. These areas are the emergency shutoff buttons, levers, and/or switches, the breaker, and the main breaker. Again, you will need to identify where these areas are at your individual facility. A ground fault interrupter outlet or plug is commonly known as a GFI. A GFI outlet protects you from electrocution. It is present anytime an outlet is near a water source. If you have no electricity from a GFI outlet, you need to push the reset button. The test reset buttons are similar to what you would find on a hairdryer plug. After pressing the reset button on the GFI, if the outlet still isn't working, you will need to look at the breaker box for a possible tripped breaker switch. Only grounded extension cords should be used in and around a pool environment. Grounded cords will have 3 prongs in the plug area. If the plug is missing the 3rd prong or ground pin, do not use that cord. Do not use any electrical cords that are frayed or cut. To unplug electrical cords from each other or a piece of equipment, grasp the plug area firmly and pull. Do not pull from the cord. Sometimes a pool light will come out of the wall. In the event a light does come out, keep patrons away from the area and do not place the light on the pool deck. You will need to go to the breaker box first and shut off the power to the pool lights. Return to the light and wrap the cord around the cone on the back of the fixture. Carefully place the light back in the niche and secure properly with the set screw. Return to the breaker box and restore power to the lights. Call the pool management company to ensure the light has been replaced properly. To recap this segment on electrical issues in and around a pool environment, you need to, number 1, know the electrical sources in the pool environment, which are a pump, a chlorinator, a radio, portable vacuums, and lighting. Number 2, be able to locate the breaker box and identify a tripped breaker switch and how to reset it. Number 3, know how to kill the power to the pump in an emergency. Number 4, be able to identify a GFI outlet and be able to reset it. Number 5, only use grounded extension cords in and around the pool environment. And number 6, how to address a pool light coming out of the wall. If ever you are unsure about anything, do not hesitate to contact the pool management company.